Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I will rest therein. Sister Deborah is coming to you with a message. Um, and it's a pretty good one, I think. I seem to feel that it's going to be. And I'm going to be a little here, there, a little everywhere because it's needed. Things need to be spoken. And I also will give you what he spoke to me in the water when I was washing dishes. That was earlier today. Um, the title is speaking of we that are of the body of Christ, which is the body of Hamashiach, need to learn how to separate the light from the dark. We need to learn how to separate the serpent seed from the spiritual seed. We need to learn how to separate he that is born of the flesh versus he that is born of the spirit. And when I mean separate, put it in the proper order. And there is a problem, and I don't think it's so much it's a problem. I think it's the way the Most High has orchestrated it to be. That's what I'm starting to really grip, the fact that this need be to be in this order. Because I sit back and I'm watching people try to bring the both together in a form of the one on the left can't be, it won't accept the one on the right. Let me say that again. The one on the left will not ever accept the one on the right. And they're teaching people that he that is on the right should accept he that's on the left by forgiving and not blaming, not holding he that's on the left liable for its wickedness and its evil, its abomination, its iniquity. And I sit back and I watch that. And I begin to say to the Most High Yah, how is it that they feel that when evil do evil, when wicked do wicked, when abomination do abomination, when Satan and the seeds that belong to him are doing wrong, we are to forgive them in the midst of what they are doing? Well, Sister Deborah finna tell you, you all had it wrong again. Being a prophetess in the wilderness, I come to fully understand it is so much that has been misunderstood because of the flesh that won't let you see the light. You see, that flesh is darkness that will not allow you to see the light. What is the light? Righteous, truth. It won't even let you see that you are a spirit. It'll let you think that it's all about your flesh. So it's a sad thing in this day and time to see that this is all I see now is people justifying, clarifying, and identifying that it's okay to do wicked and evil. It's okay. Forgive them because Yeshua have forgiven you. You cannot align your forgiveness with the forgiveness of the Father. You sound real stupid in case you don't know that. But that's what they do. They teach that. They preach that. They drill that. And they sitting straight into darkness, teaching it, preaching it, and drilling it into the minds of people. And I don't have no problem with it. You know, I have an issue if the saints be so naive to believe that you are to forgive wicked and evil, abomination, everything that's against your creator. You are to forgive him because Yah forgave you. No, no, no. It is so distant in the level of in infinity. You cannot compare the forgiveness of the Father with the forgiveness of your flesh. You forgiving someone cannot be measured in no way by the forgiveness that the Father has forgiven us. This is why my title is there. Not only did you have it wrong in the beginning, you got it so wrong in the beginning all the way to the end, and it's matching. It's matching. And I'm like saying, so this is really the way you want it to be, you know? Because I'm looking at that, and people are okaying wicked and evil, abomination, Satanism. They are okaying it all by saying we must forgive them. For think of how Yah forgiven us. Oh, baby, please don't measure my Father up. Because his forgiveness in forgiving us can't be compared to our forgiveness and forgiving wicked, evil, abomination, Satanism. No, you got it all wrong, you guys. You got it bent up and you got it bent down. You got it bent on the left. You got it bent on the right. You just bent all over. And I have an issue with that. Because the first thing I did, he said, don't you come over here. I said, but you know I'm coming, don't you? He said, don't you come over here, Deborah. I said, but you know I'm coming. If they were to say that, Father, that we are to forgive Satan, the wicked and evil, the abomination, the iniquity, and the darkness, if we were to forgive all of that in the way that Yah has forgiven us, what would it make him look like? What would it make the Creator look like for us to stand back and forgive Satan and his seeds? What? Let's put it to the test. To the test of what? What is spirit and truth? Let's apply it there. Let's step in the realm of he on the throne. This is what I did. That's what he said. Don't come here, Deborah. The Father knew I was coming to the throne. He knew I was coming to the throne. Because the first thing I said, did you forgive Satan? Why did he lose his first estate? Looked like somebody didn't get forgiven. And he has not been forgiven to eternal. He'll never be forgiven. And it started in the kingdom. So if heaven started with not forgiving wicked and evil and the ways that goes up against him, what makes you think you nasty flesh down here has the ability to use forgiveness on Satan and his seeds and then try to teach and preach it? Sit down, clowns, 24 hours. Sit y'all tails down. Y'all sound really stupid. The kingdom ain't forgave nobody. He orchestrated the beginning to the end. And just because you want to come down here and play holy, then thou, and people who do that, they are not a part of the body of Hamashiach. They are not a part of Christ. These are people pretending that they're holier than thou. They have not spirit and truth. They can't speak and teach spirit and truth. They have not the light in their right hand, you guys, to try to teach people that we need to forgive and we need to, because Yah forgave us. Baby, don't you dare. Don't you dare apply what Yah has forgiven us for at the level of what wicked and evil is doing on this earth. Need forgiven as the measure of the Father forgiving us. Don't y'all go there when you talk about my Savior. He that created all things. You know what? In Romans chapter 1, it says they took on the creature than the creator. And I, a living witness in the year of 2024 as a prophetess, I see that. They trying so hard. They ain't trying hard at all. They think that's the norm, is to apply the flesh of man against the spirit of Yah. Y'all need to not allow people to do that. And I'm saying to you, the measure of forgiveness is not for you to forgive people at the measurement of how Yah forgave you. Because when you finish running your gap, you still lost with the cause and without. Why? Because you don't understand what the kingdom have already orchestrated. And it ain't going to be no forgiving. If he already got the Lamb Book of Life written and the books to the lake of fire written, who going to say kingdom has forgiven all? Well, why are you all up in the Lamb Book, not in the book of the lake of fire? Books to the lake of fire. If this creator is so forgiving that he's going to forgive you and there is not going to be a lake of fire. See how stupid it sounds? When you start bringing it and pulling it up in spirit and truth, you can see how people have orchestrated ways to fit the ways of the flesh. Just like Romans chapter 1. They rather serve the creator, not the creature. They rather serve the creature than the creator. That's the same way I feel today. I see this. It is so plainly seen in the natural as it seems. They want so much to line the flesh of man up with the spirit of Yah. And you cannot compare them, you guys. You can't compare the Most High's forgiveness with the forgiveness you should have. No, because first and foremost, your forgiveness is not even legit. Breaking down twos, there are two forgiveness. And the forgiveness that you're riding in the way that people are characterizing this forgiveness, oh, you have to forgive people, people should be judging people should be, you know what? You're right. Because you don't know spirit and truth. You shouldn't be judging anyone. Matter of fact, you need to go to the circus, get your 10, 20, 30 tickets, and keep going back and forth to the circus because you are totally a circus clown. To believe that Yah's forgiveness measured the way that the flesh of man shall forgive. First and foremost, anytime the Ruach speaks of forgiveness, you got to be able to bag that thing up and bag it down in the proper order of spirit and truth. What do you mean? With the light in your right hand. When Yah talking about forgiveness, he's not saying ride the horse of Satan, get on the same horse Satan on, and forgive them. It's okay. No, he's trying to teach the body of Hamashiach. Forgiving the world is setting you free, not them. But you heard all the churches, all the bishops, all the apostles, all the priests, all the prophets, all the prophetess, all the smorings, all the seers, all of these people who call themselves teaching the mass of the world, because Satan's behind them, still deceiving them since the beginning of time. And they still haven't come to the light of understanding. The forgiveness the Father is speaking speaking of is the type of forgiveness where you are set free, not them. The Father did not allow Satan to deceive the world so you can go to the world and say, you okay, I forgive you because Yah forgave us. That's sickness. And a living testimony, not a dead prophet, but a living one in this day and time, to tell you all, they are sicker than sick. Understand, pull up to forgive. You want to forgive? Forgive with your flesh, but don't you pull up with forgiving with your spirit. Because if you don't understand, the forgiving in the spirit is so you may be set free from whatever someone has done to you. A lot of people, you heard some people kind of getting it a little bit, not people on these YouTube, but in reality, they said, well, you know, I had to forgive to set me free. Thank you. That's the righteous forgiveness. It's so you may be set free. So when Yah is telling us to forgive the wicked, the evil, and the world, it's not to forgive them to make them equal to who you are in Him. You can't do it like that. Y'all getting sicker and sicker and sicker by the minute, the second, the hour, the day, the month, the years. No one is coming to light. And it's sad to be a living prophet today and seeing people not even being able to know where the light resides. No one's coming to the light. No one's teaching spirit and truth. I explain over and over and over, when you line everything up in two, make sure you park your tail on the right one. You cannot justify, clarify, and identify, oh, he wants us to forgive. When he said, forgive your brethren 7 times 7, Father, tell him what you meant. He meant the body of Hamashiach is where your brother is. He's not calling the brothers the world. He's not telling you go out here and forgive your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brothers, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers. No, he's talking about forgive your brother. And when he was telling it to him, he was talking to the disciples. They asked the question. And they are true eternal brothers. And he's telling them, forgive your brethren 70 times 7. He's not telling you forgive the world, Satan's seed, wicked and evil and abomination, and all this mess that's out here. They don't, my topic is, they really don't know how to separate Yah from the spirit of Satan. And I don't mean to blame Satan, because the Father was breaking it down to me. He said, Deborah, if it's really all on Satan, then Satan be standing right with him come judgment. But it's their spirit, Deborah. Satan ain't got nothing to do with that. You see? So this is why I say we in such a end time of so much darkness and deception, and people rather hear the lie than know the truth. We cannot measure the forgiveness of a creator with the forgiveness of forgiving the wicked and sin and the world and Satan's seed. What's the sense of having Genesis chapter 3, verse 15? I'm going to put intimacy, which is hate, between your seed and mine. Mine's going to crush the head of the serpent, and the serpent going to bruise the heel. Wait a minute. What is going on? If there's hate between one another, where did forgiveness come in? Somebody needs to talk to this sister. Where do forgiveness come in? You got it wrong, you guys. When he's wanting us to forgive any situation, not forgive wicked and evil and abomination and iniquity and sin and all this stuff that's going on, and you're supposed to stand there and say, I forgive you because Christ forgave me. You stupid. You're so stupid. Y'all need to stop measuring my Father with this flesh. That's what Paul was saying in Romans 1. It's a problem with them serving the creature rather than the creator. And it seems like it's a problem in this end day that many are preaching and teaching and instilling these lies into people. Because one thing, they don't know. If you don't know, shut your horse mouth up. Get off this devil platform trying to teach the light when you know all come out your mouth is darkness. If that Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, has not lived, abide in you, you ain't got no business on this devil platform teaching nobody about he that's on the throne that created all things, the beginning and the end. You ain't got no business saying nothing. It don't make no sense how we measure him at the level of a flesh of a man. We can't seem like we got an issue putting Yah up higher. And it is. It's prophesied that it was going to be like that. That's where the problem at. But what they didn't know, he kept his rams in the bush. See, while y'all sitting here thinking it's about the way y'all going to teach and preach and y'all going to live this thing. That's why so many people so comfortable. So comfortable with the flesh teaching and teaches what the flesh give you. They so comfortable abiding by the way of the flesh. If y'all thought for 1 minute that in the end days or even at time past that men could hold up the standards in which he created them and teach this thing in the form of righteousness, he wouldn't have sent Sister Deborah. How about that? How about that? And I was in the water and he was explaining to me today when I was washing dishes. He said the reason why they don't want to abide by what you're saying or listen to you or take heed. You notice they don't want to correct nothing. If they would have took their butts out there and did what they were to do as men, I call it holding their own balls, then y'all wouldn't have had to send someone like me. Because the men would have been doing what God said, the Most High Yah. But we are in this end days where y'all knew that they would not mount up to it. That's why they so eager to keep women silent. They took it way from the beginning to today. And how can you change it? You can't. You can't get them to see anything outside of a woman not supposed to speak, or I don't need to be listening to her because she's talking about men. It started too far back, y'all. That's why he says, in this day, Deborah, I ain't come to change nothing. Why? I understand that. I salute why there's not going to be a change in the end days, but just judgment, suffering, and wrath. Because they've been there since the beginning of time, changed it and lived it and abide by it. And they right today too stuck on it. They don't want to move out of what they didn't have or didn't get. They want to stay right where they at. That's why they don't want Sister Deborah to say anything about men. But if men were to say something about men, then you wouldn't have to have a woman to say anything. How about that? How you like me now? You see? A woman wouldn't have to say anything about a man if a man would grab himself and be that which Yah had created in the beginning and speak on the behalf of the Father. Then a woman wouldn't have to. But see, they don't get it. The man didn't lose their position today. They lost it yesterday in the beginning of times. And that's why they're comfortable. They're so comfortable with not being offended, not being told, not things being spoke of about what men are doing. They're set. So when he was telling me in the water, but you got to think, this started way back in the beginning, in the garden. I said, but Father, wait a minute, hold up. That's a mighty long time. He said, that's why they stuck on it. They don't want to do my way. They don't want to walk in light. They don't want spirit and truth. He said, because one thing they didn't know. You want to know him? He's righteous. And if I send my servant down here to speak righteous, and you find error with mine, Because you err in yourself. And that's your destiny. See, that's what I'm saying. They don't want spirit and truth spoken, in which Yeshua say at the times will come when that's what y'all gonna be gathering together. Those that speak in spirit and truth. They don't get it. Why? Because the Father said they took their crown off way back in Genesis. That's why they refuse to put it back on today. That's why I can't come and make the crooked straight, Deborah. It's been crooked too long, to where it has lived and died in their crookedness, in their perception of the way man is teaching them, even though they didn't even have a father in the home to teach them. And when they did have one, he didn't teach him righteous. See, that's what they didn't understand, even to today. That's all he was saying. Train them up in righteous. And they missed it, like they miss it today. So if your father couldn't train you up in right, you ain't gonna be able to train your sons up in righteous, because something's still stuck in you. And that's the curse of the father. That's why he says, when you were in this captivity, you were to still pray and ask for forgiveness for the forefathers. Because he letting you know you can't just drop the curse in you. It has to be dropped in the forefathers in which you are praying for. So say, for instance, if I have the curse of my father, I can't go before the throne saying, Father, take away this curse. I recognize my father had a curse, and I don't want to continue this curse. I want you to defeat this curse, so it won't go in my children. But what he's saying is they're not even repenting for their fathers. When they come before him, they didn't get the sense enough to say, Father, please, not please, but Father, I pray for my forefathers' sins. Wicked and evil and abomination. But what they do is they want to skip all that and just stand at the throne themselves and think that y'all supposed to wipe away their curse. 99.15 billion don't give a rat's behind about their curse at all. They don't care. They're going to live this thing and die this thing as it is. So when he was telling me about how everybody want to line Satan up with him, he showed me something that was so powerful. He said, Deborah, when everybody are judged and they have to stand before the throne, okay? You think Satan gonna be on the left or the right? Satan already got his ticket to eternal, and he knows all about it. The reason why Satan ain't gonna pay the penalty for us, think of that, y'all. Now think, it's no scriptures you're gonna find in any book where Satan is gonna pay the penalty for you. But we blame him for all of it because we want to be justified, clarified, and identified that we're all good. It's Satan doing this. Satan doing this. But God want me to tell you today, it ain't got nothing to do with Satan. Satan come to deceive the whole world. The whole world. But you got a spirit that's going to stand before me. The whole world is not your spirit. It's your flesh. But you're going to stand before me in spirit. Satan ain't liable for your spirit destiny. You are, because of what I knew of you before the foundation of the world. So if you walk down here the way Sister Deborah is beholding you all doing, it's because you're already assigned to the books. That's why you can't hear what the prophet, the servant of the Most High, is saying. That's why you can't get it. That's why you don't want to hear a woman talk. You don't want her to say anything about men because you're a man. And don't even understand. He been saying something to you since Genesis. Since Genesis 1, he been talking about the men not being in order. All the way to Revelation. And you ain't telling him he talking about you. That's how sick they are. They don't understand. It ain't meant for them to understand. Y'all didn't create this whole world so that you can understand what he got up in the kingdom. It is written. That means you can't do nothing about it. That's why you live in the way you're living, and you're going to die the way that you're living. lost with the cause and without one. Bent up, bent down, bent on the left and bent on the right. You're going to go on to your destiny, your eternal destiny. So that's why he was saying in Hosea, oh, Deborah, they perish. Because I used to have an issue with this word perish. He said, no, that means dead, die, eternal. I said, what? Yes. Because they're going to come in and go out the same way. I, Sister Deborah, a student of the Ruach HaKodesh, a prophet, servant of the Most High Yah, 2024 can fully understand it and can see why and how. You don't understand how many of you all are detaching Yah with the flesh in the darkness, have detached darkness and light together. When Yah is speaking of brothering, forgiving one another, he's speaking of the body of Hamashiach, the brothers and the sisters, us that's in the body of Hamashiach. We are to forgive one another 7 times 70. That's why he was saying it to the prophets. I don't care if someone smeared to the left or smeared to the right, smeared it up and smeared it down. That's for those who've already lost. They shall never find their way. When he wants us to forgive, it's to set us free. Not he that that has wronged us, or he or she that has done the wicked and evil, and we want to forgive them. Understand, it's not the forgiveness. It's to set you free. So when you bent up and bent down and try to line up the Father, the kingdom forgiveness with this ideal that he forgave us, so we should forgive them, baby, you ain't got that power nor that authority. Then he say, how can you take the beam out of your brother's eye when you can't even take it out of your own eye? You can't even see it. But once you take it out, then he's talking to the righteous. He's talking to those that are righteous in the body of Hamashiach. You go up in that body of Hamashiach and you take that beam out of your brother's or your sister's eye because you already took it out of yours. You can tell them something. But outside of that, don't go to the world and try to match my Father up with the world, trying to make Satan his ace. Y'all fools. And let me tell you where I'm going with that. I keep hearing people saying and using this thing. Somebody can go out and even murder somebody, and you forgive them. You are not Yeshua HaMashiach. You are not the Father on the throne. Because if that was the case, see come time when he say the lake of hell and wrote all them books in the kingdom already. You think he gonna stand there and say, I forgive you. Come on back over to this end. See, y'all make it look real bad. And to me, it's almost trying. It ain't that to me, it's like, I don't see Satan like you all see him. I see him like this here. He hides. He keeps stuff up and then he hides. Why? He let your own spirit do the rest. He let your own spirit do the rest. That means your spirit who don't have its flesh under subjection, he lets you do it. You see? And your spirit will go on and say, go on, flesh, let's do it like that. He don't even have to do it. He don't have to force you. He don't have to tie your hands behind your back. Because if you ever thought you will not find one verse in no book you find, even your Enoch or whatever, you ain't gonna find no verse where Satan is called to be the one, the worstest enemy to you. You won't find it. Because Yah gave all of us a spirit. And our flesh is an enemy to our own spirit. He never said Satan was. He didn't say Satan was the enemy to our flesh, and he didn't say Satan was the enemy to our spirit. We are our own worst enemy. Satan come to deceive us. But we are our own worst enemy because we are the one that has the image of Yah. And we have either choose Satan or we choose Yah. Whichever one, like Adam and Eve, when they came down here, they went straight to Satan. Why? Because that's what they were orchestrated. They were already written to go to his direction, to be his seat. That's when you take the power and give it back to the authority, the kingdom, where it is written. So I heard a conversation, a real dark conversation. It was very dark. I'm going to show you how dark it was. A young lady got on and she was being, first and foremost, the host was really boosting this individual up. And I said, I'm gonna hear this darkness. That's the first thing I said. I'm gonna hear this darkness because he putting her too far up on the pedestal. And then when she come in to talk, she put this thing about and it was a woman that was with Straightway, and she got out. And you should have heard this, her conversation at the beginning. Now listen to this. Oh, we must forgive them. We shouldn't be bashing them. We shouldn't be saying nothing negative about them. We should forgive them like the Most High has forgiven us for all of our sin. We done so much wrong, and he has forgiven us. So we need to forgive them. You know what? When I start to hear that, that's when I knew this is where you have to watch out for the cunning of Satan and how he would turn a mindset to go in direction in which would support darkness. And I'm going to show you how he did it. As she was talking, it was all about repenting and saying that I have nothing bad to say about Straightway. I'm not here to bash them or say anything negative. You all, they were on there for a couple of hours. Do you know that second hour she was speaking was the opposite of what she was saying at the beginning? It blew my mind. I said, wait a minute. This chick ain't even spraddling the fence. She's a bunch of bull crap. Because now she's speaking how they did her. So how is it that you are now holier than thou after all they have done, and you're still sitting here saying you're struggling for what they did to you? You know why she's struggling? Anybody, I told you all once before, any fruit fall from Yah'S tree, it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right. It's gonna be right because they don't want to give up his ways. See, when you come from among something like that, he said, come from among them. When you come from among them, you know, like Lot's wife, come out. No, she want to look back. And that's what everybody that has a 10 Straightway does. They want to come out, but yet stay in. Deborah, you better watch yourself. They want to come out, but yet stay in. Why? Because it's so much invested in their spirit they got to get rid of. And they don't know how. So they think they can get on here and either bash or play this pity party. Oh, they done this to us. They done this. But the Father got a question for you today. You are a carbon copy of what Straightway is. And the word, no matter where you plant yourself, you're going to be no different. And even at the end of her being interviewed for those hours, you begin to hear her cursing. And I said, wait a minute, Father. That ain't matching up with what she was saying in the beginning. You know why? It's hidden. They can only deceive the lost. They can only lie and be hypocrites and be wicked to the lost. So I was like sitting here saying, do these people really believe this lady? And then, I mean, what she was saying at the beginning don't even match what she said at the end. Matter of fact, it was the opposite. But yet it was, oh, we got to repent. We shouldn't be doing this to them. They're this and they're that. They're children of the Most High Yah, and we need to be apologizing and asking for forgiveness. And we shouldn't be bashing them. And we should say I'm sorry in a sense. She said that too, but it's the ideal of we as the true servants, the true saints. No, we ain't got no business over in that type of trash, playing that type of game. So I said to the Father, I said, Father, wait a minute. I said, I know you said it's going to be this way, but Father, this thing is not only ugly. I can't even find the name for how dark it is in this day and time. It's beyond pitch black. It's beyond black blue. It's beyond black purple. That's on the earth today. It's beyond that. Because so many people walk in that darkness like that. And find time to take many along with them. And they eats it up. Like they really getting something. So I'm sitting here listening to her after she said all these things about everybody who's talking about a straight way and how everybody keeps saying it's about straight way. They need to apologize and they need to stop talking about them because we should ask them for forgiveness. And I'm like, wait a minute. And in the next hour, they did this to me. They did this, and I need help, and I'm still like that. When did they do that to you? 2022. So why are you still the same? You know why? It's with you to stay. As I told y'all, time passed. When there is a tree, and many grows on this tree, falling off the tree is because the tree shook you off. Okay, the tree shook you off it. And that's how you feel. You didn't come off the tree because the tree was no good. You came off the tree because the tree shook you and you fell. And you not only failed, you stayed around the tree to see if the tree would still allow you to regrow into it. When you saw that you did not have a way back to the tree, then that's when the tree has done something to you. But the Father sent a message to any and everyone out there. If any and everyone has been with straight way and you have fell from the tree, y'all want you to know that you are no different than the tree itself. And at the end of the second hour, she was cursing just like Pastor Dow. She didn't curse like him, exactly like him, but you can see that. And I have seen that in 4 people that left straightway. And the men curse identical to Pastor Dow. They can't even say 2 or 3 sentences without using profanity. That's what y'all is talking about. They are carbon copies of this man. And they now wants to play to you all that we are no longer connected to the tree, and the tree's this, and especially that Rufus guy. He is no different than the tree itself. He stayed on the tree until the tree shook him off, and still tried to rest upon the tree while he was shook off. When he fell off the tree because the tree shook him off, he landed on the ground and rest there to try to find a way to be detached to the tree. Once he saw his way was no longer going to be a way with that tree, then that's when he became the person that he became and went after speaking against the tree. But you're no different when you are the same as the tree, said the Most High Yah. Why? When the Father want me to explain it to you. He said, Deborah, what happened is when those individuals took upon an idol god over me, they didn't do it, Deborah, with just something to do or just a short time. He said they idoled that God all that time. And that's all of them. The only time they get angry with straightway is when the tree shakes them off, and now they're angry with straightway. So what the Father is saying, they would have stayed with that idol God, Pastor Dow, had not they been shaken. He shook them off his tree. That's why they're still the same. And what he said is, their mouth is saying one thing, but their spirit is still detached to straightway. That's why their mouth can't seem to get away from straightway. That's why the way they portray things and the way they talk, the way they communicate sound just like Pastor Dow, because he said that they had idoled that God to be their God, to where he been turned and never gave them the time of day. So that's their God to eternal, because that's the God they chose in their spirit and in their flesh. And that's what this, I could hear it out of this woman. I'm like saying, you talking about this, and then you're a turd at the last hour of your message, you talking the opposite? It didn't make sense. And the Father said, but listen to her mouth. She telling everything they did, but yet telling y'all we have to forgive them. How are you going to forgive evil and wicked? How? You can't. The only way to forgive individuals is so you can heal, not for them to heal. It's for your healing, not theirs. See it, the Most High God. And this is where people are lost with a cause and without one. They're bent on the left, they're bent on the right, they're bent up and down. So don't take this. Don't think that you're being smarter than thou, because you feel I can say we should repent, or we should say I'm sorry. When people do us wrong, we should forgive them. You go forgiving them. Let's see when you stand before that throne if you're going to be forgiven from the lake of hell. How about that? How you like me now? Let's see if the lake of hell going to say, I forgive you. You can come over on this side. No, y'all got the creator bent, and you're living on this earth and still bending up and down other people with the tool that Satan come to deceive the whole world with. That's what they deceiving you all with. And they don't have no other choice. Why? Because if they are predestined, they were already assigned to that. Somebody said, well, oh, he didn't used to be like this. Oh, he didn't used to be like this. We all wasn't what we used to be. But what are we today? We all are not what we used to be. But what are we today? Is it worse or is it better? You see, something wrong with that, ain't it? So you can't sit and say somebody used to be a good pastor and a good leader, and they were humble and they were helpful. No, you can't say that. The product of the day is really who that person was yesterday. It's just that you were so in tune with following an idol God, and you made him a God to where you couldn't see the true God. That's why you can see that he was all so nice and kind. He wasn't that way. They said it all the time about the pastors. All of them. They said it about Yah'S. Oh, he wasn't that way. Baby, used a lie from the pit of hell. That's who he was. That's who he is. And that's who he's going to be. That's why he will not. And he will show you all the things of the world, like Satan does. Show you all the things of the world of how I got this, I'm building this, I'm making this, we doing this, and we doing that, to throw you off again, really who he is. But it's okay, because Yah has already done the work. Yah have done all the work while we sitting around here clowning. We sitting around here clowning and trying our best to make him the liar. Because in Romans chapter 1, we rather serve the creature than the creator. Known fact, Paul. Paul kicked that in, and he kicked that bad boy out. He is so 100. Why? Because a prophet in the wilderness in this day and time. Not a dead one, but a living one. And I can vouch for exactly what that meant and what that said and what he said. That's what I see. And people are content with serving the flesh of a man. They are content. They don't have no problem. And he said, you don't have no other idol God. And he said, when they go and they put these men on pedestals and place them places that the kingdom didn't order them to be, because that's not how he orchestrated the earth for you to have a God on the earth and you worship him. And then when he failed you, you want to run over here to me. No, I don't think so. Adam and Eve couldn't have ran to the tree of knowledge and good and evil. And then the next day said, no, I choose life. How about that? How about that? Where is the forgiveness of the Father? Father, you didn't let Adam and Eve switch over. You could have let them have a couple of more days. Maybe they would have chosen life, the tree of life. You see how messed up that is? This is what I try to say unto you all. The mindset of people is so far on the deep end, it's crazy. All the way on the deep end. And they were like, I was telling the Father, I said, but Father, they love the lie than the truth. He said, that's why I told you. I've been finished with him. He always said that he had turned his back from Israel and Judah. But he still had a stretched out hand. What was that stretched out hand for, Father? Y'all, hold up. Hold up. What was that stretched out hand? Because if I had not had, this is what he said. He said, you can hear it in Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah. You can see it in Daniel. You can hear them telling you about that the Father has turned his back from Israel and Judah. But he always had a stretched out hand. Let me explain y'all what that stretched out hand is, because I know you still don't understand it, the power that rests therein. The reason why he still got a stretched out hand is because if they overstep their boundaries to where that power has to pull up, it's stretched out already. Move. Move! Bust a move! My right hand gonna deal with it. And he ain't talking about Israel and Judah. He's talking about the heathens and Gentiles. Bust a move if you want to. You better recognize my back is turned from Israel and Judah, but my right hand is always stretched out. Bust a move if you want to. People don't even understand the power of who he is and why the sun sits its butt where it should be, and the moon got its butt where it should be, and the stars hanging its butts up like it should be, and the ocean standing still like it should be and not overflow. Why? Bust a move on the Father if you want to. Get out of the order in which I have orchestrated. Just bust a little move. That's what he means when he said he still got a stretched out hand. Waiting for somebody to bust a move out of order. You think somebody gonna do it? The moon said you talk like a fool. You think it's gonna? Stars said, huh, you crazy? The ocean said, I ain't moving. I'm gonna do exactly what he said. That's the type of fear we are to have of he that sits on that throne. Because we recognize his power in that right hand. It don't play. How is it Satan recognizing, but we still running around here not fearful of it in any shape, form, or fashion, because we don't think it's all that. That's why. Oh, it can't do nothing. It ain't never done that. It ain't done nothing. You know why they say that? Because they serve an idol God. That's why you won't hear them talk about Yah's power in the church, in the temple, in these camps, in these synagogues, in their academy, on these platforms. You don't hear nobody talking about the right hand in the stretched out form. You don't hear nobody talking about the power of he that sits on the right hand, on the throne. You don't hear nobody talking about it. You know why? They don't have no respect for it, no fear for it, of it, and could care less about it. I just thank the Father for having everything orchestrated and written from the kingdom. So when I saw that, I thought that was very sickening to me, to see someone be in that mindset. You're going to start off talking about how we should repent and say we're sorry because we're bringing this straight way down, and we're doing saying things, and or we are they making so many videos negative. Yes, they ain't got no business making no videos. They ain't got no business doing that, because you know what? All of them is just as dark as straight way. I'm gonna tell the truth, and I ain't gonna even say you, Satan. And I hope y'all make them look like fools in the long run. Because one thing about the Most High Yah, when your hands is off, his hands is on. He don't need you to help him bring nothing down. That's how sick people are. What does he need you to do? You think he needs you to make all the videos and bring something down that he already done pulled down from the kingdom? That's because you don't have no respect in who he is. You don't have no idea what Yeshua was saying on the mountaintop to say, it is written once, it is written twice, it is written. And throughout your instructions and direction, it tells you to get the Ruach HaKodesh so you can understand. It is written. And when it is written, it don't need you to help it out. It is finished. So what role are you playing? Only role we need to be playing in this day and time is exalting the Most High God, giving him glory and praise and honor, speaking to him in spirit. 99.1.15 billion don't know how to even speak to the Most High in spirit. And the Most High said, Deborah, I won't speak to them no way. Heavens don't even require that. To those that are not in me, I orchestrated a body. And in that body, all that belongs to me belongs to me. And anything outside of that body is not of mine. So go on and clown around the body of Hamashiach. Do what you do best. Because if you're not in that body of Hamashiach, you only out. I saw something that was very, I don't know why I didn't put that down. I said I was going to write that down. Let me see if I got that down so I can see if I can talk about that too. Because it just kind of did something to me. Let me see if this is it. 17. One minute. I was looking. I'm gonna have to go back to this here, and I think I would do that another day. It blew my mind. Oh no, here it is. I think it is. Let me see if this is it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to touch base on Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13, 14, and down to 16. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13, 14, and 15. And it reads, therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. See, y'all, it's kind of sad. It is real sad because many people don't understand. This is something. See, you all really thought that it happened when you got over here in captivity. Listen to what this says. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. Now they gone in captivity because they have no knowledge. How is it that he chose you? Way back. Way back. And you don't have no knowledge. What does he mean? Let's go further. And they're honorable men. Wait a minute. No, the women. No. They're honorable men, men. No, women. They're honorable men are famished, which is famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. I wonder why is he talking about men? I don't understand. Okay. Verse 14. Therefore, listen to this. This is what happened. Let's go back to 13. Gone over your head. It's a feeling I can get when it's gone over your head. Okay. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. They're gone into captivity because there's a cause. They have no knowledge. And their honorable men are famished. And their multitude dried up with thirst. Now watch what happened. Therefore, wait a minute, Father, y'all, something finna go on. Yes, it is. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. Do y'all know what that means? Do you understand what that is saying? Therefore, hell has enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. There's no end. It can't even be measured. How hell has been enlarged. And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. Y'all been talking since Genesis, y'all, to men. They won't talk to one another. All they want to be leaders, rulers, and kings. That's it. Controllers. But they don't want to do no will of the Father. But I like this here, though. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 14. Therefore, hell has enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their, what's that, pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. Now, what is he saying? Listen to what he's saying, y'all. Y'all missed it. He said, their glory, their multitude. He's letting you know they going down in big numbers. Their glory, their multitude, their pomp. I got to find out what that means. Pomp, P-O-M-P. And he that rejoice, and they rejoice. Father, they ain't hearing you. That's another one over the head. And he says, shall descend in it. What's that they're going to descend in? The hell that has enlarged herself. Verse 16. But Yah of hosts shall watch this here. But Yah of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. See how he's doing that? He letting you know he don't need you to exalt him when that's what you was created to do. He don't need you to praise him. He said, wait a minute, I'm going to be exalted when my judgment step in. Your tail's going to be exalting me then. Why? That's sad. Because now you're going to see these things come to pass, and now you're going to want to exalt him. Why you say that? Because it says, watch this here, in verse 16, but Yah of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. And Yah that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. I love that. I love that. He enlarging hell so Israel can take their tails there. And he turns around and says, but Yah of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. And Yah that is holy shall be sanctified in righteous. You ain't stopping nothing. He's still gonna get his glory. He's still gonna be exalted. And that's my thing today for me. That's a treat for me, is to let me know, Deborah, I'm gonna throw down regardless, and I'm still gonna be exalted in my judgment. See? He don't give a crap if you don't fall in line with him. It's over. So you can continue to fall in the line of the ways of your flesh and the ways of your thoughts and the ways of your feelings and your emotions and your wisdom and your knowledge and your understanding in your flesh, and get somewhere and sit down. Okay? So I wanted to bring that because every time I talk about he enlarging hell, I never thought to just pull it up. And he was talking to Israel. He was talking to Israel. Why would that happen? Don't talk about them, Deborah. You see? And he's telling you about the men. Don't talk about men. You see, it's a spirit of wicked that they hold within themselves. It's a real wicked spirit. And it really is there. I'm gonna tell you where it's really there to measure them, to try them by the fire. Because if you are not like them, you don't have to stand in the fire. Or you don't have to include yourself in the fire. But when your emotions and feelings are moved, when it is spoken about men, then you're in that same fire that they're in and don't even know it. Because don't ever put yourself where you know you don't belong. Don't ever put yourself where you know that you don't belong. You don't include yourself. Do you think I'm going to include myself with the KKK? You think I'm going to include myself with the Black Lives Matter? I'm going to include myself with the Bloods or the Crips? You think I'm going to include myself because they talking about, they bothering our people, and they just want all the time talk about our people when I'm talking about Bloods and Crips, the game? What do your men start doing? Supporting them. You ain't got no business talking about our men. It's going on in their neighborhood. But I'm here for your men, whether you like it or not. You see, I'm standing where I was called from the kingdom to stand. I'm speaking where I was appointed to speak, not what tap into your feelings and your emotion. Go, it's too many videos out there. Stay on in that lane. That's the lane you need to be driving in. I don't care if it's the fast lane, the slow lane, or whatever. Get over in that lane where you belong. Because in this lane, it's going to speak righteous. In this lane, it's going to speak spirit and truth. In this lane, it's going to be about my Father's business and not about your flesh. Okay? So, another situation I came up on was, now listen to this. Isaiah chapter 4. And this was another one. They're teaching these men lies. And to me, I don't even think I was created not to say anything about what men are doing, because the men ain't saying nothing about what they doing themselves. And he said in Romans chapter 1, even those who see, who, what does he say? Let me go there. Let me see what Romans says. Those who, let me go to Romans. I want to say what he was saying in Romans. It's talk about it when they said they want to serve creatures over the creator. And that's a known fact. That's a part of what I'm talking about today. They didn't put Yah way in the back seat and put man up in the front seat. And that's who they serve. And want to make him the liar so they can live their truth. And everybody, they're all good for it. And it says, let me see. It says, Romans chapter 1, verse 32. Who knowing the judgment of Yah, they which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only the same, but have pleasure in them that do it. Pleasure in them that do it. They don't even have to be doing what the men are doing. But when you find pleasure, in a sense, you don't see nothing wrong with what they're doing. Because they're a man and you a man, you figured, okay, you judging men and you talking about men, and then well, that means he's talking to you. You don't find no pleasure. You find you don't have, you have pleasure in what they are doing. Because you're not supposed to be out there in where they at. You're supposed to be in the body of Hamashiach. The body of Hamashiach way over here, and you way over there with them, because they men and you a man, you want to be over there with they at. Even if they doing wrong, you still want to sit over there with them because you think you match the fact that you're a man and they're a man. So I'm agreeing with them. I'm going to be on their side, and I don't want nobody talking about them, because when you talk about these men, then you're talking about me. But don't even understand the way Yah set it up. He separate his. So if you over there on that side, you need to be over there. You need to be offended by anything Sister Deborah say, and you need to stay over there. You need to abide over there. You need to eat over there. You need to live over there. You should stay over there. I don't need to charge you on that. You're already there. Because don't ever get in a frying skillet if you don't belong. Don't take your tail and get in a pot that's boiling if you don't belong in that pot. But a fool will get into the same pot where all the meat is at, and knowing it don't belong there. But because it feels it's meat too, it'll get in the pot with all other meat. Instead of realizing, wait a minute, no, they can't realize it. That's what he said. They can't realize it because they don't understand the body of Hamashiach. They don't understand about the body of Christ. They don't understand the body of Hamashiach. They don't understand the body of Christ. They don't understand the body of Hamashiach. They don't understand the body of Christ. That was created in the kingdom. That means all of Yah is over here. So if your tail is over here being offended, you need to stay over here. Yah's body of Hamashiach is in the body of Hamashiach. Instead of trying to find out where do I fit in this body of Hamashiach, you rather be over here where you can't get offended. Stay over there. Because the body of Hamashiach, it's upright. It's just. It's about spirit and truth. Nothing can offend it. Because it's about his Father's business and not about the flesh of a man or their identity of a man or the ways of men. It's about the body of Hamashiach. And that's where we messed up on the floor, because the body of Hamashiach is spiritual. So it's about everybody in the spiritual realm that are the saints in the body of Hamashiach. 99.1.99 times 15 billion don't even know nothing about the body of Christ, which is the body of Hamashiach. You don't hear them preaching, you don't hear them teaching, and you know why? Because they really can't teach it in a way that they are included in it. That's the reality. They can't teach it as if they are included. They have to teach it the way they feel it on the outside. They can't be added into the body of Hamashiach. They can't come over there and teach you about that, because if they come over there and teach you about the body of Hamashiach, what do that mean, y'all? Do anybody know? No, I know you don't know. But let me tell you what that means. That means that they got to respect you. It ain't gonna be no somebody high and somebody low. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, Deborah. That's what the body of Hamashiach is. Hamashiach is Christ. It is the power. It is the spirit. And it is the word of Yah that's over the church. And he said, ain't nobody higher than the other. We all balance. You see? That's why they can't come over and teach you all about the body of Hamashiach. They can't teach you that the Father created a body, a church, which he got the true saints in. No, they over there trying to call the church a brick building. Stay over there calling the church a brick building. You about right. The church is not a brick building. It's the body of Hamashiach. That's the true church. And we are the saints. And not one saint is higher than the other. We in this thing together. That's another way of being able to discern who's who and what's what. Because the way people portray their life in the flesh is not who they are. I mean, it identifies who they are in the spirit. And that shows you that they are not a part of the body Hamashiach. Because they think it's about them and them and them, me and mine and over here. That's why he came with the sword to break up the family. To tell you, wait a minute, your family, your whole family ain't in the body of Hamashiach. Hamashiach, and your whole family is not the body of Hamashiach. Heavens orchestrate that body, not you. And how you know them? By their fruit. You know them. See, a lot of them can't use that because they don't know nothing about that. Because Yah ain't in them teaching them. This is how you didn't know who's who and what's what. He know what he did with the body. He knew what gift he gave the body. He knew where he set his up in. And before, if the body, somebody in the body cut up, you know what he said? He said, I destroy your temple. I destroy you. I will destroy you before I let you bring that to the body. And that's what he'll do. He'll have to take you out. Just so your spirit can still be saved. That's how he do with the body. You mess up. Oh, you down there. Oh, come on, let me get you out of here. Just so you can still be saved. Because he got you written already. He got you written. But he ain't gonna let you sit on the earth and cut up from the floor up and clown like you don't serve him at all, like you serve the serpent seed. Oh no, bam, get on out of here. Before I let you bring that to the temple, I'll take you out. Just so you can be saved, because you saved in the kingdom. But I'll take that body out of here. Because the flesh, because the spirit is already written. But I take that flesh up out of here. You want to come up in the body of Hamashiach, cutting up from the floor. I take your tail out of here. Nobody know nothing about that, though. Nobody care about that. Nobody understand that. That's too heavy for people. Because they still clowning. They clowning in the flesh. I want to go here to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 4. I just want to show y'all a little something of how the lies can continue over and over and over. And it doesn't matter if you understand it or not. It doesn't matter if you get it. It's over. Y'all ain't coming down here to make sure you get nothing. He just coming down here to make sure his light is still on the earth. Even if it's a pin needle. He's not caught up in trying to bring bright light to darkness. He's not caught up in trying to bring the crooked straight. Oh no, baby, y'all done missed it. It's over. Okay. Now, when you get to Isaiah chapter 4 and verse, let's see where we're going to go. Let's just deal with verse 1. We're going to deal with verse 1. And I'm going to deal with verse 1 because I want y'all to understand that this is another situation where the Hebrew Israelite men, especially Judah, has turned the minds of our men to a brick wall. Not to a brick, to a brick wall. Because they can't comprehend anything. Once these men teach these men don't have no other way. They don't have nothing else. Because they don't want to teach these men the life. They don't want to teach them spirit and truth. They want to teach them enough to get them to follow them in the way of their flesh. And they do it. Now, I can say they do a good job because I know that heaven got a little hand in that. I love that when I know heaven's done orchestrated the beginning to the end. What's the sense of orchestrating the beginning and the end and being the beginning and the end and don't know where we at today? What sense does that make? How we dare talk about, oh, he Alpha and Omega. He the beginning and the end. You can't even tell me where he at today. Because you don't know where he was yesterday. That's why you don't know where he at today. Okay. Isaiah chapter 3 and Isaiah chapter 4. And we're going to deal with verse 1. Now, what has happened in Isaiah 3? The end of Isaiah 3, Judah don't really understand that y'all going to take him out. All he have to do is go back to Deuteronomy 28. It tells him until you are destroyed. Until you are destroyed. Until you are destroyed. Until you are destroyed. Until I destroy thee. Until I destroy thee. Until I destroy That's called the end game, y'all. 99.115 billion don't know nothing about that, especially Judah nor the house of Israel. Have no idea what's going to take place. Now, and Isaiah bumped up in it, and he began to talk about the same thing. I have explained to you all about in Isaiah 3 about the burning of the scab and the crown of the head. Now, the crown is here, you guys, okay? The crown is like in the mid, right down in the middle, right here. Okay, and it talks in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 17. Therefore, Yah will smite with a scab, a crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yah shall discover their secret parts. Women, this is what I say unto you all. This here has already taken place. How do I know? Yah would not put that there for me to read it and understand it without it happening to me. Okay? This is 100. This is not Alapir, whatever they call it. This has nothing to do with no perms and no nothing. This was here before perm came out. So check. See, y'all listen to too much trash. This here was in here before a perm kit came out. So you got to go beyond what flesh of man and women are saying and stick to the spiritual realm. Yah is sending a message to the daughters of Zion. I'm going to purge your butt. And your secret parts is going to be seen. But you're going to have scabs in the crown. The crown is not, what he's talking about is not around your edges. All in your edges is out. Or all up here thin and out. That's not the crown. Only one can be able to justify and clarify and identify what Yah is talking about is those who are experiencing it. And Sister Deborah is one. And what happened is, once I embraced this verse right here, I saluted this just like I did Deuteronomy 28 endgame. I saluted this. And what does it say? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 17. Therefore, Yah will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. And Yah will discover their secret parts. Yah will discover the secret parts. Then he take us out of all these clown clothes. Keep on reading. All them bunnies and them wraps they got on their head and all them long dresses and all them things trying to look holy and don't understand holy ain't on the outside, holy's on the inside. You can't look holy on the outside if you ain't holy on the inside. Furthermore, the outside can't hold the holy. The spirit of who you are holds holy. You have a talk that's holy. You have a walk that's holy. You have a heart that's holy. You have a mind that's holy. You can't put holiness on no clothes, no fringes, no wrapped up head, and no wrapped down head either. But as a living testimony in today's day, 2024, a prophet of today, I check this. I salute the Most High Yah. Saluting the Most High Yah for Isaiah 3 and 18. I salute him for Isaiah 3, period. Because I live today, see exactly these things taking place. To the utmost do I see these things. So I salute him. I'm all for you, Father. I see it. I see it. So what is happening to me? The crown of your head is not the front of your head, the size of your head, the back of your head, or your edges. So don't worry about it. Teach you, oh, you've been putting chemicals in perm. Shut your mouth. This was prophesied before the European made up some crap for your head. But Yah is sending a sign what he's going to do. Wait minute. No, Father, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Father is saying what he's going to do. Moreover, Yah said, because the daughters of Zion was naughty and walking with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes, walking malicing as they go, and making tingling with their feet. Watch this here. Therefore, I, Yah, will smite you. Smite. So what is it? Yah said he gonna smite you. So he gonna let the Europeans make chemicals to do his? No, They can't compare to what he said he gonna do. When he say he gonna do it, he gonna do it. Then you got to understand what it means when he say he gonna do it. You see? That's why we don't understand Deuteronomy 28 end game. He said he's going to, until we are destroyed. We're too ignorant to understand what Yah is saying. We take on what man have said, and we throw away what he have said in Romans chapter 1. Paul nailed it to the wall. They served Deborah, the creature, instead of the creator. That's forever. Why are you saying that, Paul? Because that's who they should be trying to serve, Deborah. He that lives forever, eternal. Creator. No, they don't want him. They want the man that's going to die. They want to worship him. So what happens? So when you get to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 18, Sister Deborah is what you hearing say a living testimony. I'm already suffering this. So I already know it's over. I know this part is over. And because I salute what Yah was saying, I said, I see where you're coming from, Father. I'm all for it, Yah, Father. You know all things. You know what's best. I salute it. I'm good. I'm good. Bam! Then I gets it. In the crown of my head, it's burning. And what Yah did was so beautiful, you guys. When you salute his will and you accept his way, especially when that roar break it all down to you, then he'll let you get victory in it. And I said to the Father, I said, I got all these different herbs. I've been putting it on here and ain't nothing helping. He said, ain't nothing going to help it. My word went out, Deborah, for it is written. I have suffered this for 3 years. And what he did is he blessed my hair to be as thick and full so no one could ever see it. But it burns, you guys, in the crown of my head. That's why I can tell you something. While you running around here clowning with these other people, letting them tell you a bunch of lies, talking about perms and edges came off of this weave. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Like all that sickness they talking about was on the weave hair and all. Sit y'all tails down. You just jealous that your natural hair can't get as pretty as somebody able to fix their hair with weave. But what people don't understand, a protective style is when you take your natural hair and you tie it down, y'all. You braid it or a cornrow or a French braid it, going back into a style to where now it's protective. And see, a lot of them who running around here looking like a mop head don't know nothing about that. They don't understand that hair cannot take out your hair when you got it in a protective style. Matter of fact, it'll make your hair grow. But back to what is burning in the crown of my head. I said one day, oh, Father, I'm going to take a picture so I can show the people on YouTube. He said, don't waste your time. I really wanted to show y'all. He said, don't waste your time. Because that shows me that, Father, so they just, Deborah, they gone. Them people ain't listening to nothing. You heard about what they did with the other prophets. They killed them with what they were saying. So in this day and time, they ain't nowhere wanting no truth. They don't care about no truth. But what he did is he made my hair so thick and full that it covered my crown. It covered it to where you can't even see it. And the pieces where it has burned, it looked burned and it burns. Guess what coming out of it? Baby hair. You know, like how baby be born and their hair just laying down? Well, that's what's there. on that part. That's why I truly believe without a doubt. I don't need no man, I don't need no woman to tell me nothing about this. When the ruach in me have taught me this, it looks so, it just straight. It can't be like this here. It can't be like this here. It won't bounce back. It just real like baby hair. You know how baby's born is laying down. That's where the burn part is at, y'all. That's how y'all bless my head to still yet be covered. But I have respect for what he said right here, because it still doesn't take away the burn. And every time I think about it, I don't go around every day and holler about it's burning. I think about what he said in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 7, and I salute you, Father, y'all. Because that's his way of discipline the daughters of Zion. And I'm all well with it, because we ain't gonna die. And that's what these old ignorant women don't understand. You done set them free, and they don't even know how to be free indeed. They still run around here chasing a man and his ways, his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding, his emotion, his personal opinion. You more men is sensitive than a woman or a child or anything. And it shouldn't be that way. Not that he shouldn't be sensitive, but to the point where they are today, worse than women. I don't know where this female thing coming up in them from. I do know, but you don't want me to tell you. But let me go where I'm going. So in Isaiah chapter 3, he's talking about that burning scab. Now, mine don't have a scab, but it does have a scab. You see, it's not that scab that you peel off. It's burnt. It's burnt right in the crown of my head, you guys. And when I try to show it to my sister and them, they would say, you can't even see that. Your hair's so thick. How did you get your hair to be that thick? I told him, the Most High Yah covered my head. Because when he said it, I believe it, and I saluted, and he said, okay, I'm going to take care of it. Because now you see the prophecy, because it's applied to you. So I'm all with it. I salute the fact that 17, really the whole Isaiah 3, but the 17 for it to scab. But many of you women need to sit down and read Isaiah 3. Because you'll see how he's going to take you out of all them clothes that we've been put in and told, well, you have to wear this and you can't wear pants, you can't do this. He's going to strip all that from you. The bunnies, the head wrap, he's going to strip all that mess out of you, from you. And it tells you right in Isaiah 3. Then you wonder, well, okay, if that was the right thing to put on, why are you taking it from us? It's because that's the right thing man told you. But I'm doing something to show you who I stand for and who I am. Okay, so let's go. Isaiah chapter 3, not chapter 4. Now here we go. In Isaiah chapter 4, it says, and in that day, y'all better be careful, because you're gonna run out here and be and lose, you sleep and not have your understanding of where you stand. Okay. I think it's a beautiful thing to be living today, because it gives you a chance to really, how would I say, measure yourself, dissect yourself, and starting with your spirit. This flesh ain't no good. You don't need to dissect it. You know, it don't mean no good to the Father. So you dissect your spirit, see where it stands with the Father. Okay. Now, in Isaiah 3, we heard over and over men teaching these men, you will have 7 men to 1 woman. 7 women to 1 man. The Father want me to tell you their ignorance still rests in them so highly till they gonna live and die believing what some man instilled in them. This is where I explained to you they want to worship the creature than the creator, because the creator ain't told them no trash like that. That's the creature who is man, who's teaching them the ways of man, the feelings of man, the emotions of man, the wisdom of man, the knowledge of man, the understanding of man, and the personal opinion of the flesh. They have no idea of the spirit and truth that rest within us when the spirit of the Ruach reside. Now listen to this. So in Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take a hold of 1 man, saying, we will eat our bread and wear our own pearls, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reapproach. Put on your paper right next to you, if you got a pen and piece of paper, reapproach. First and foremost, it's not a flesh on this earth, man nor woman, can take away your reapproach. Okay? What Yah is doing is what he's going to do to those who's going to the promised land. Like I was telling you, the scab in my head, I'm in there, y'all. I'm in there. What do you mean? I'm already walking there, y'all. I'm already going. The mindset, because this matches me. And he's telling the women, you're going to be the majority that's going to come out of here. Females. So when they sitting here talking about a male, they turned that thing up and down, crooked and backwards, and they got all these men thinking they're going to have 7 women to 1 man. Now listen to this. As you read Isaiah 3, he's telling you what it's going to be like in the promised land. Okay? And he's telling you these are the women that has that crown in their head. These are the sealed women that he spoke of. I purge you so that you can be holy. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? When sisters got this crown in her head, the scab burning, it's because I'm holy. I'm marked for holy for the kingdom and for the promised land. See, y'all, you don't get it. Shoot, straight over your head. Because you heard too much out of the mouth of men and women, and you cannot hear spirit and truth. It won't penetrate. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5. Deborah, the light, I gave them light, and the light shined, but the darkness comprehended not. 100. The mindset of the flesh of men and women will not comprehend spirit and truth today, Father. They will not. So I know what you're meaning. In the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 5, that light is not going to be able to have the opportunity to shine and be seen in that flesh, because that flesh ain't letting nothing go. Okay, so here it is. I want you to see where this here was taught to all the men of Judah that knows that they are Hebrew Israelites, all of them, and they are so excited. They think the kingdom is preparing them the same trash they got on the earth. They think the promised land is setting up from the floor the same trash they doing down here on the earth where Satan has deceived them. They think they're going to take it up to the glory. Do they know where they're going? No, they don't know. Because the men don't have the sense to tell them spirit and truth. And the sense means tell them that where we are going is holy. They don't get it. So let's go. So as I get to Isaiah chapter 4, and I see verse 1, and it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. We're going to pull up that word hold. Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own pearls. Just let us be called by that name to take away our reapproach. Now, here we go, y'all. You're going to learn something tonight. Those that has the ear to hear. Okay? You don't have the ruach, you can't hear this. So when you get to, you see the word reapproach. The women are looking to have their reapproach. They're looking to take away, they're looking for this name to take away their reapproach. Guess what, you guys? Not a man or flesh on this earth can do that. Not even you yourself. Nobody can take away your reapproach but Yah himself. Yeshua can't even take away your reapproach. Only one can do that is the Most High Yah. Let's go. Let's find out. Let's go to Genesis chapter 30, verse 22 and 23. Genesis chapter 30, verse 22 and 23. Let's see what this reapproach is. Talking about it's a man. Okay. When you get to Genesis chapter 30 and verse 22, it reads, and Yah remember Rachel, and Yah hearkened to her and opened her womb. Now, who did that? Yah. No, Yeshua. Yah. Okay. Verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son and said, let's hear what Rachel, can you tell them today who took away the reapproach? Rachel, tell these women who took away your reapproach. Listen to this. Verse 23. We in Genesis chapter 30, verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son and said, Yah has taken away my reapproach. Only one on the earth and in the heaven can take away reapproach is Yah, not a man. How can the flesh take away? How can the flesh allow her to have a child and open her womb? How could Yah, how could a man have done that? They couldn't. It's impossible, you guys, for a man to take away the reapproach of a woman. Only Yah does that. So here it is. It says in Genesis chapter 30, verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son and said, Yah has taken away my reapproach. Now, who did she say did that? Yah. Now, let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 1, verse 24 and 25. Now, we switch right there. We came from the beginning of your instructions and direction book, Genesis. Now we're finna go into what they call the new. Luke chapter 1, verse 24 and 25. Now, one thing I did do, I misplaced the other sheet that I had reapproach. Every reapproach is what Yah does, not man. So see how they said a man, she needs the man so she can take away her reapproach. A man. Yeah, they don't understand what they're saying. And I can somewhat understand why. It's because they by them not having the Holy Spirit in them to be the teacher, he can't teach them that it's not a man that this woman is talking about. Now you got to understand the daughters of Zion is now in the promised land where the holy is, the holy of holy. You see what I'm saying? You see, y'all don't know nothing about that because ain't no man told you. Isaiah chapter 4 is speaking on when you get to Mount Zion, where it is holy. She wants to be called holy too. Let's go. Luke chapter 1 and verse 24 and 25. Let's see what that says. Luke chapter 1 and verse 24 and 25. And 24 reads, and after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months, saying, Thou hast Yah dealt with me in the days wherein he wherein he looked on me to take away my reapproach among men. Yah take her reapproach among men. Yah. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 4. Isaiah chapter 4. In that day, and y'all want y'all to understand, when you pick up this instructions and direction book, and it speaks of in that day, it's not like the day that you once knew of. It's in this time period, in the time to come. You see what I'm saying? So don't go looking way in the back, thinking it's back here. No, you got to look where we at today. Okay? It's not talking about Moses and Abraham and Ezekiel and Isaiah and Solomon. No, it's telling you about your day. Okay? And it says, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our bread and wear our apparels. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reapproach. The reapproach is Yah. The reapproach is Yah taking away their reapproach. Let's watch this here. Verse 2. In that day, see, he's telling you about that day. And that's the day when he's going to get us to Mount Zion, when he's going to clean us up. You see? Watch this here. In that day shall the branches of Yah be beautiful. You see? You see what I'm saying? That's because he restored Israel and Judah. In that day, the branches the branches be of Yah be beautiful. The branches of Yah be beautiful and glorious. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. So only the ones that's going to the promised land, this is for. See, this what they thinking is 7 women. No, baby, you got to continue it reading it in the spirit realm. Get your stanky tail out of the flesh, because that's not coming up there. You ain't gonna be able to do what you did down here and got away with it. Furthermore, you ain't gonna see up there, because you got away with it down here. You ain't gonna make it there. Okay, now listen to this here in verse 2. In that day shall the branches of Yah be beautiful. How it's gonna be like that? Because Yah gonna make it beautiful and glorious and commonly, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped, for them that are escaped of Israel. Now watch this here. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, okay, he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. This is what the women were saying. They want to be called holy. Okay? Even everyone that is written among the living in Jerusalem. Now, wait a minute. Do y'all see that word written? You know where that word written come from? The kingdom. So stop clowning down here on the earth, listening to these mouths of these women and men trying to override what Yah done in the kingdom. Always pull that bad boy up in twos and tell him to sit down, clowns. You're not speaking spirit and truth. Now, he's sitting here in which verse is that? 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. That's the name the women want to be called. Even everyone that is written, when were they written? In the kingdom. Where Yeshua said, it is written, it is written, it is written. Well, this is the same, it is written in the kingdom. Let you know, don't let nobody tell you they can rewrite this thing on the earth. Kingdom them got it wrote in and wrote out. Sit down, clown. Okay. Now he says in verse 4. Now, wait, listen to the verse 4. Now listen to this. When Yah shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion. See that? He gonna be and wash you away. You're gonna be called holy. That's the name you wanted to be called, to take away your reproach. Who can take away your reproach? The Most High Yah only. A flesh of a man can't take away your reproach. What's wrong with y'all? They were talking in the sense of, oh, I don't care. I do my own parables. I do this and I do. Just let me be called by the name. Holy. Now listen to what it says in verse 4. When Yah shall have washed away the filth of the daughters. I don't know what's wrong with these women of Judah. They're sicker than sick because they still trusting in the flesh of a man to tell them the level of who Yah is in them. That's what makes you sick. Y'all saying one thing, he saying another, you going on his side. Y'all saying right, he say left, you go to left. Y'all say light, he say dark, you go to dark. Y'all say up, he say down, you go down. But you know what? If you fall in his ways, that's your God, and that's the way you need to be going. That's why I was telling you, with straight way, them falling to him, y'all said that they made him their God. And it's rooted in them. That's why they can't get away from him. They don't even know how to deal with him. he's in them because they've been around him. Even Rufus, you've been around him too long, bro. You talk like him, you walk like him, you act like him. And Yah said, you know what he said to me that I thought was strange? Yah said, you'll never see them give up polygamy. If they see Pastor Dow in any era, he said he don't care what era they see him in, they're going to still keep polygamy in their hearts. They're going to still have many wives. Even if they see the era of Pastor Dow that they follow all those years, he said those ways of that man is still in them. It's rooted. They will not give it up, not even for him. Praise the mighty Yah. Okay, so listen to this in verse 4. When Yah shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion. You know who else said that? Ezekiel. Who else? Jeremiah. Then told the daughters, y'all gonna wash your tail. And you ain't got sense enough to receive it and start praising him right now. You wait for some man to tell you what's your next step. Wrap your head to do this and do that. Now, and he said, the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged. I told you he was going to purge us. The blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof. Listen to this. By the spirit of judgment. He's judging our spirits, y'all. Watch this here. And by the spirit of burning. The spirit of burning. Sister Deborah, in verse, where is it at? Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 17. It tells you about the crown and the swords. So mine is still burned. It could be the spirit, but it burns. Now, it don't burn 24/24. It's every blue moon, but I know that it's there. You see? Totally. If I showed you a picture, you'll say, oh, Miss Deborah, I would have never thought. Yep. I'm all for it. I salute it. I don't have no, I'm telling y'all, I don't go up against nothing the Father have said. If you're going to destroy us in Deuteronomy 28, I salute that bad boy. Father, you know what you're doing. You know, that's just me. All I want to do is make it to the right side. I want to be in that Lamb book of life. Y'all going to float any way y'all want to, but I want to be in that book. Okay, so listen to what he said to the daughters. Listen to what he said. And when in verse 4, Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4, when Yah shall wash away the filth of the daughters of Zion. Okay, and you look over in 6 and 17, Isaiah 3 and 17, he's telling you how you're going to have the crown of your head with a scab, and in the daughter's head, he's going to smite thee in the scab. And here in verse 4 of Isaiah chapter 4, he said, when Yah shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst of thereof, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And what Yah is saying, he's going to purge us, and he has purged us through these things, and now he's making us clean. He's erasing the filth and everything. But the purge, it was there, and the spirit of burning. Now watch this here. Verse 5. For Yah will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assembly a cloud and smoke by day, and the shine of flaming fires by night. That's also was in Genesis. He left that there. That was the light, the tree of that was the tree of life, the tree of life, and the flaming. That's what that was. The flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. Now, let me show you where the burning come in. Go back to Isaiah chapter 3. We still in the same one, because Isaiah chapter 3 bounced off. Isaiah chapter 4 bounced off of chapter 3. He laid it out to the women. He laid it out to the men, how he's going to deal with you men, and how he's going to deal with the women, and how it's going to be in that day, in the day we in. No women, no men want to dissect this and teach it under spirit and truth. They want to lie about it and feed you all lies, and you all good for it. Now listen to here. Sister Deborah said, and she was telling you all about the burning. And I wanted you to really understand that the burning was always in there. That's the purging. Listen to this. In Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smelling, there shall be stank. And instead of gearing or rent, and instead of well set hair, and instead of stomacher, gearing of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. That's that burning. That's why he said when he took away the filth of the daughters of Zion, he told you he was going to do that in Mount Zion, but he also let you know he had already judged you by the burning, by the spirit of burning. And then you get into Isaiah 3 and verse 24, he tells you right there, and the burning instead of beauty. You see, that come from your head. And it tells you that in 17, Isaiah 3 and 17, and Isaiah 3 and 24. That's the connection to the judgment that he judged the women in Isaiah 4 and verse 4, the spirit of burning. But all she wanted to be called was holy, not a flesh of a man's name. No man is going to have 7 wives. He was trying to get you all to see. Now, I don't know where along the line they feel that he's trying to get you to see that there's going to be more women until he bring up those bones, those dry bones from Ezekiel, and bring that, he called it, not a war, but a army of men. That's what the dry bones going to be. It's not going to be women in there. It's going to be an army of men that he's going to add to Mount Zion. But I believe the crew that's going over, that's going to really make it there, it's going to be more women. That's all. He gave them a good sign. It's going to be more women than men. And then you say, well, why would you say that, Deborah? Why would you tell people that it's going to be more women than men? Let's go up. Let's go to that bad boy. Since y'all want to hear the mouth of these loudmouth men that don't have no spirit of truth. Anytime somebody don't have a ruach, they ain't got no business teaching you. They can't teach you without the ruach hakodesh. You can't say you have it. It's what you say when you teach it tells what you got and what you have down in you. These people are talking flesh over flesh, and everybody believing every word they say. Now, let me tell you, since you don't know, you want to think that, 7 women to 1 man. No, he's telling the men, he's telling the women, you're going to go over, and it's going to be, you going to be in more numbers. And when you get over there, you're going to all of a sudden see a man. And you're going to want to be called that holy, that he is going to be called that holy. But it ain't that you want him to take away your reapproach. Only one can do that is the Father in the kingdom. Yeshua can't even take away your reapproach. So what y'all talking about? Man can't take away your reapproach. Now, in Isaiah chapter 3, we're still in chapter 3, verse 25. He said, thy men. Wait a minute, Father. Why are you saying thy men? Why are you saying thy men? I'm trying to get the women, the daughters of Zion, to understand. I'm trying to get the men to understand. Even though it's too late. Now listen to this. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And I understand exactly what he's saying. I salute it, because when he say thy men and then thy mighty men, you got something to think they bad, Deborah. Because they got guns, they got weapons. They really think they mighty. These men is out here killing these women and these children, killing their parents. These are weaklings. These are not men that's mighty. These are the weak of the weak. But I'm coming. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Father, are you for real? You gonna do that? It ain't that. I'm just joking when I ask him if he for real. I already know what he gonna do. If I got this burning in the bottom of my head and my scalp burning, honey, baby, let me tell you something. This is real. It's no way we gonna rest in Isaiah and my head gonna be crowned. It's gonna have a scab and burning, and that's coming to pass. And this here ain't. Oh, it is. Let me tell you what it says. Isaiah 3:25. Thy men shall fall by the sword. Who is thy men? Daughters of Zion. Y'all wants you to know your men are going to die by the sword. And thy mighty men. So you want to run around here and think they mighty. They're going to die in the war. See, they thinking they're getting out of here. They really thinking they're getting out of here. To the point where when you end up, and they're telling you how she will be at the gate, lamenting, and moaning. Why? Because her son, her brother, her daddy, her granddaddy, her great-great-granddaddy, her husband, her brother-in-law, dead. Y'all men better get yourself in order. And if you don't know what the order is, it's spirit and truth with the light in your right hand. It's not this trash you're trying to teach and manipulate people. That's why what I'm talking about you ain't heard and you ain't gonna hear it. Because only through the Ruach can you understand it and hear it. He didn't say this thing come by precept lining and little here. This thing come by you reading. He said this thing come by here. And you know why he said that? Because he is the voice that you must hear to hear. He is the only one give you the ear to hear because he is the voice that speak it. That your ear hear it. Okay? And not the flesh of a man and a woman. Okay? So here he tells you he's going to destroy it. And that's why I keep saying to y'all, it's over, it's finished. And when they don't want Sister Deborah to say anything about men, that's on you. Keep your man tail over there to the men platforms and eat from their plate and make sure you get the full meal deal. Because if you can't see what's out here and what they're doing and conducting themselves, it's still going according to the will of my Father, whether you like it or not. So running y'all mouth, talking about 7 women to 1 man, and y'all sat there and said, he said, Deborah, you know what that why that happened? He said, because men teaching men, and none of them hear my spirit, because I ain't giving them an ear to hear. And I told you, they say they hear, they cannot hear. They say they see, they cannot see. They just out here clowning. And since they out here clowning, I make sure I gave them a lot of clowns to clown with them. And I didn't disperse all kind of circus tickets for them. So a lot of times people don't even understand. The way that you're walking is the way that you're walking yourself straight into your destiny for eternal. That's why I sit and say it's over and it's finished. A lot of you all don't even understand. You can tell which way you're going already. It's plainly seen. It ain't what you're going to try to be tomorrow. It's who you are today. That's what it's all about. See, everybody saying, well, I cross that bridge when I get to it. But baby, let me tell you something. In Yah, there's no bridge. You already crossed. You're just too ignorant to know it. Everything in the kingdom has been written. It is finished. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. And I hope you got something out of it. And I will be back. Shalom and shalom.